Please unmute your video, all of you. Later on you can mute both audio and video. Right now please unmute your video. Am I clearly audible? Clearly audible to you people? Am I clearly audible?
Sure.
Oh, okay, fine.
Sure, yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, just I will read out the instructions, then I will start with the today's class. Before starting, just I will check myself whether these things are working or not. Okay, fine, they are working. Okay, all of you listen carefully. Suppose in between, if something due to technical problem, if I leave the meet, because in the morning it has happened, you be in the class only, I will rejoin once again, right? Don't leave the Google Meet, right, until I say class is over. Don't leave the Google Meet. Please be in the meet. If any technical problem is there, my PC will restart. I don't know at what moment it will restart. So you be in the class. Once again I will come and join, and once I say class is over, then at that time class will be over. Just I will give you a few instructions before taking the class. I hope most of you have filled the Google form. Yes, you have filled the Google form with your details. If you have not filled, please fill it by today evening, and please use the same Gmail ID for Google Meet and Google Classroom. And I have shared the video, but it is not opening for many. There is an issue with that, so I will address that by today evening. I will address that issue, right? I came to know what is the problem. I will address that. Akash Patil Kulkarni. Okay, fine. Please, one request for all of you people. Please sit in a separate room away from parents and family members, because your attention will not get diverted, right? Please make a provision in such a way that you sit in a separate room. Is it fine? Okay. Then better to use laptop or desktop. Already I told. I'm not. It is not a compulsion. You can use mobile also, but it is better to use laptop or desktop. And please maintain separate notebook. Please maintain separate notebook, so that sometimes I will ask you people to solve the problems, and I will wait for some time, so that meanwhile you can solve the problem. Later on I will call you randomly, anyone, I will not ask all, to show the problem, solved problem, right? And also keep your scientific calculator ready with you for electromagnetic theory class. Scientific calculator is a must for every class. Please maintain separate notebook and scientific calculator. Always you should have this. Then once the lecture is over, yes, in the morning due to technical problem I have recorded, but it was not recorded. Now I hope so everything will go fine for this class. Once the video is recorded successfully this class, I will share it once again, right? The next, whenever I ask you people to unmute your video, please unmute, so that I can see you people and interact with you people. Or else whenever I take the class, during the session of the class, please mute your audio and video both. Then before leaving the class, already I told, please take permission before leaving the Google Meet. Don't just meet, because we will be having the attendance record, right? We will come to know when you have attended, at what time you have left, all those things. Unmute your video, I told. Unmute your video. Tejas, what happened? Tejas. Oh, okay. I cannot force the people. Anyhow, okay, fine. For any queries, I have given my mobile number and email ID for you people. While for joining the class or viewing a video I have shared, if any problem is there, you can WhatsApp me or you can call me up, right? If I am free, surely I will attend, I will address your issues. Then it is better to use headphones and earphones for the class, right? Then any problems in joining the classroom or getting the material or anything, please talk to me. You feel free to talk to me with respect to subject or with respect to Google Classroom or anything. Please feel free, right? Okay, now I will directly start with the class. Okay, I'll share my. Okay, you can mute your both audio and video. If anything the problem is there, please let me know. One of you, Tejas, you are the CR. Please unmute yourself and speak to me, right? If any problem is there, if you are unable to
Yes,
listen
sir.
to me or something like that. Okay, I'll share the screen now.
Sure.
Okay, 55 people had entered the Google Classroom. Okay, fine, I'll start with the class. I hope screen is visible. My screen is visible to you people. Okay, we'll start with lecture 2. Before starting, I will prepare myself. I will take the felt tip pen so that while explanation it will be helpful. Okay, fine. In the first class, it was introductory class. We have seen the introduction, what you are going to study. Totally 5 units are there. In every unit there were 2 chapters, right? So we will start with one by one. So already in the previous lecture we have started with introduction to electromagnetic theory. Then we have seen the evaluation procedure for both CIE and SEE. Then next today we will study about vector algebra and rectangular coordinate system. So in electromagnetic theory, the coordinate systems plays a very vital role. There are 3 types of coordinate systems. In order to locate a position in the space, we take please somebody mute your mic, mute your audio and video. There should not be any disturbance. Please take care. Okay, fine. In order to study electromagnetic theory, the coordinate system plays a very vital role. Means in order to locate any object or point in the space, we take the help of coordinate systems. It may be rectangular coordinate system, or cylindrical coordinate system, or spherical coordinate system. So the first chapter we give more importance to these coordinate systems, and conversion from one coordinate system to another coordinate system, that also we will study. And vector algebra already we have learned. Briefly I will go through, not much in detail. Okay, next. Already okay, fine. This is fine. I'll skip. Okay, in the previous class we have started with vector algebra. So addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So first we'll start with addition of 2 vectors. For adding the 2 vectors, we take the help of parallelogram law of addition and triangle law of addition. Okay, first we'll see the parallelogram law of addition. So here parallelogram is constructed having 4 sides, you can see. And suppose if there are 2 vectors, let me assume vector A, we will take one of the vector on one of the side of the parallelogram, and another vector. Observe here, this is the tail of vector A and this is the tip of vector A. And if I want to add another vector, always both the tails of both the vectors should meet at the same point. You should take along the sides of the parallel in such a way that the tails should meet. So we start another B vector here, starting from tail of vector A, then proceeding in the rightward direction, vector B. These are the 2 sides of the parallelogram. Then if I want to add the 2 vectors, if I want to get the result, then the diagonal of the parallelogram, this one, the diagonal of the parallelogram will give me the addition of 2 vectors, vector A plus vector B. Then observe here, if I say vector A, if I simply write A, it is not vector A, it is a scalar quantity. So I have to put bar here. In the textbook, what they will do, they will make it bold letter. Vector notation already I have told in the previous class. So I should write vector A with bar, or some people will write A with arrow mark also, right? And in textbooks what they will do, they will make it bold. They will make it bold A. But continuously we cannot keep on making it bold to say vector A. So we will put A bar. So vector A plus vector B. So similarly I can add 2 vectors using triangle law of addition. So construct the triangle here. Just construct, you can see here the triangle is constructed. You should take 2 sides. One of the vector A is taken here. The tail of vector A is here, tip of vector A is here. Then observe here, another vector I should take in such a way that once the vector A ends at the tip, I should start another vector. But in the parallelogram law of addition, it is not the case. Both the tails of both the vectors should meet at the corner of the parallelogram. Here, vector A is taken. Next, vector B should start from tip of the vector A. Vector B is taken on another side. Then the third side, this one, the third side, and the direction you can observe here. This will give me the result of addition, vector A plus. The direction is opposite. You can observe it is not in this direction. The direction of this vector is opposite, vector A plus vector B. This is the result. So I can go for either parallelogram law of addition or triangle law of addition for adding 2 vectors. Then next we'll see what are coplanar vectors. The vectors which are lying in the same plane are coplanar vectors. For example, you can see in the above diagram, this is the vector A and vector B are coplanar vectors. Here also, because they are lying in the plane of the board. Board means PPT, what I am using. This you consider it as a board. So both the vectors should lie in the same plane, right? So then the vectors which are lying in the same plane are called as coplanar vectors. Then if there are more than 2 vectors, suppose, let me take example, suppose there are 4 vectors, how to add them? That is polygonal law of addition of vectors, we'll see. Let me take 4 vectors here. So I will take one, for example, vector A, this I have taken. Then next I will take one vector here, another vector, vector B, vector B. Then I will take vector C, random vectors. I am taking one example, that's all. Vector C. Then I will take 4 vectors here totally. Vector D. Vector D. Right, now I want to add all these 4 vectors and get the result of addition of 4 vectors. So for this I will make use of polygonal law of addition of vectors. First I will take, see here, vector A is having particular magnitude and direction is in the rightward direction. So I have to maintain proper direction and magnitude. So I will take vector A first. Vector A. Vector A I will take. Yes, vector A is taken. Yes, it is in the same direction. And vector B I will take next. So it is in the upward direction. I will start from tip of vector A. So yes, this is vector B. It is taken. Next vector C. The orientation and magnitude should be same. The orientation is same here. Vector C. Then vector D I will take. So next vector, this is vector D. Yes, I want to get the resultant. So join starting from tip of the first vector to the, sorry, tail of first vector to the tip of another vector, and direction should be opposite to vector D. So this will give me vector A plus vector B plus vector C plus vector D. If there are more than 2 vectors, then I will make use of the polygonal law of addition of vectors. If there are only 2 vectors, I will go for either parallelogram law of addition of vectors or triangle law of addition of vectors. Then next we will see, yes, I told the vector algebra means addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Here next we will see the subtraction of vectors, but subtraction of vectors we will see it as addition of vectors only. I will say how it is. Then next, before going for subtraction of vectors, I have to define what are these identical vectors. Identical vectors. Identical vectors also called as equal vectors. Vector, suppose if I take 2 vectors, vector A is equal to vector B. These are equal vectors. Then I will define the identical vectors are, if the difference between the 2 vectors is 0, then I will say they are identical vectors. Vector A minus vector B. Yes. So the difference should be 0. I will call it as identical vectors or equal vectors, one and the same. So we will see the subtraction of vectors. So I will take vector A and I will take vector B. I want to subtract both these vectors, vector A minus vector B. Okay. Then instead of subtracting, what I will do, I will take the help of addition of 2 vectors. Vector A plus open bracket minus B vector. So I want to see the subtraction operation as addition. So I will take the help of parallelogram law of addition, or yes, parallelogram law of addition. So I will represent vector A. This is one side of the parallelogram, vector A. Then vector B. Actually I want minus of B vector. Sorry, okay, fine. Instead of, okay, let me change it. No problem. I will take this as B vector. Instead of A vector, I will take this as B vector. I can take any vector first. Let me take this as B vector, right? So another side I will take A vector. But actually I want vector A, as I have represented vector A here, but I want minus of B vector. So just reverse the direction of this vector B, so that it will be minus B vector, minus of B vector. Then I want to get the difference or addition of these 2 vectors. So complete the parallelogram. So I will complete this parallelogram. Okay, okay. Then the diagonal of this parallelogram will give me the resultant, vector A plus of vector, or else vector A minus vector B. So we have seen the subtraction of 2 vectors as addition of 2 vectors only, right? Is it fine? Then next, multiplication of vectors. Yes, there are 3 types of multiplication of vectors. Vector quantity by a scalar quantity. We will multiply the vector quantity by a scalar quantity. Then I want to multiply 2 vectors. Either I can go for dot product or cross product. But right now we will not study dot product and cross product here. Later on we will study that. Then first we will see how to multiply vector by a scalar quantity. First one. Okay. Okay, there is some problem with this board. What is happening? I don't know. Okay, let it. Yes, let me take one vector quantity A. Then I will take one of the scalar quantity. Let the scalar quantity be alpha. Then I want to multiply this scalar quantity to a vector. Let me assume 3 cases. First case is alpha is greater than 1. Okay, I will write this. Second case, alpha is less than 1. Then third case, alpha is equal to minus 1. This I will be taking. Is it fine? Okay. Then next, alpha is greater than 1. If I want to multiply alpha with the vector a, but alpha is greater than 1. So let me take vector a is represented in this way, vector a. Then I want to multiply alpha, which is greater than 1. So the direction remains the same. Since alpha is greater than 1, the magnitude increases. So this is represents alpha into alpha vector a. So that the multiplication of scalar by a vector quantity. Then in the second case, the vector a remains the same, but since alpha is less than 1, so let me redraw vector a once again. Then alpha into vector a. So since alpha is less than 1, the magnitude reduces but direction remains the same. Here it is alpha a vector. This is for second case. For third case, if alpha is equal to 1, I will redraw once again vector a. Since alpha is minus 1, the magnitude remains same but direction is reversed. So this will be minus alpha minus a vector. Alpha is minus 1, no? So minus a vector, that's all, because alpha is multiplied. Alpha is 1 here. So minus a vector. The magnitude remains same but direction is reversed. Alright. So this is the multiplication of vector by a scalar quantity. If I want to multiply two vectors, we will make use of dot product and cross product. That we will see it later. Then division of vectors. Next we will see the division of vectors. Division of vectors. Here let me take one vector and I will define one scalar quantity as alpha. I want to divide vector a divided by alpha, but I don't want to make use of division operation, so I want to make use of multiplication operator. So vector a multiplied by the reciprocal of the scalar quantity. Take the reciprocal of the scalar quantity and multiply with vector a. So you are realizing division as multiplication. So this is the brief vector algebra. I will not concentrate much here. And you can see here the multiplication of vector by a scalar and addition of vectors, they obey the CAD laws. CAD laws means commutative law, associative law and distributive law. Is it fine? So in the next slide there is a table here. Just go through it. I will not explain much here. There is a commutative law, associative law and distributive law as applicable to addition of vectors and multiplication of vector by a scalar quantity. It is shown here. So I will skip this. Yes, coming to the most important part, that is the rectangular coordinate system. There are three coordinate systems here. What is coordinate system and why they are used, and for what purpose we should study the coordinate systems. In order to locate any object or point in the space, I will take the help of the coordinate systems. You are familiar with two-dimensional coordinate system, x and y axis, right? Okay, fine. 1 minute. Yes. You are familiar with the two-dimensional vectors. X-axis and y-axis. This is two-dimensional coordinate system. So this is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. The two-dimensional coordinate system has 4 quadrants. In the first quadrant, both the value of both x and y are positive. In second quadrant, the value of x is negative and value of y is positive. In third quadrant, the value of x is negative and y is also negative. Both are negative. In fourth quadrant, y is negative, x is positive. Right? Now coming to the three-dimensional coordinate system, here only in 2D x and y are there, but coming to the three-dimensional coordinate system, one more axis gets added, that is z, x, y, z. So first we will concentrate only on a rectangular coordinate system, also called as Cartesian coordinate system. Simply we write RCS. RCS refers to rectangular, or else we will write CCS. CCS means Cartesian coordinate system. Both are one and the same. Okay, if I write CCS, cylindrical coordinate system, will be confused, so I will not use this. I will use RCS, rectangular coordinate system. Okay, in the rectangular coordinate system, we call, there are two types, right-handed rectangular coordinate system and a left-handed rectangular coordinate system. Just I will draw and I will show you. We will speak only about right-handed rectangular coordinate system. I will not tell anything about left-handed, because you will come to know once I draw the diagram of right-handed rectangular coordinate system. So x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and there is the origin here. So here it has, since there are three coordinates are there, x means here x value will be 0 because it's the origin 0, y value is also 0, z value is also 0. So the origin has coordinates 0, 0, 0. Okay, you can observe here why we call this as right-handed rectangular coordinate system. just take your right hand and make a thumbs up, right? The thumb will point in the z direction. The thumb, make a thumbs up shape. Yes, thumbs up. You take the right hand and do the thumbs up shape, so that the thumb will point in the z direction, and fold your fingers to the palm so that they will close. Means x axis is approaching y axis, means it is moving towards the right, so we call it as right handed rectangular coordinate system. Left hand means take the left hand and fold your fingers to the palm, and the thumb will indicate. So we will discuss only about right handed rectangular coordinate system. So whatever I have drawn here is right handed, because x will fold to y and the thumb will indicate the z direction. Is it fine? So next we will study about this rectangular coordinate system. Just I will join and I will show you how many planes and how many quadrants are there in three-dimensional coordinate system. Yes, I will observe how I am drawing. I want to show you the planes. Yes, you can see here, if I locate any point here or anywhere here, this we call it as xy plane, and if I locate any point in the xy plane, the value of z is 0 also. So we call, instead of calling xy plane, I will call it as z equal to 0. In this plane z is 0. Next, coming to this plane, if I locate any point here, x is 0, so we call it as x equal to 0 plane. Also we call it as yz plane, because y is here, z is here, two sides, so yz plane. Then next, coming to this plane, it is where y is 0, so we call it as y equal to 0 plane, or xz plane, or zx plane. X something is happening here, xz plane. Yes, there are three planes here. X equal to 0 plane is this, and this is y equal to 0 plane. Just observe the pointer here, and this is z equal to 0 plane, or else we will say xy plane, yz plane, and zx plane, one and the same. And here, how many quadrants are there in three-dimensional coordinate system? Your two-dimensional coordinate system is having, here we have discussed here, it was having 4 quadrants, but here in three-dimensional coordinate system there are totally 8 quadrants. How to imagine? Yes, for electromagnetic theory, for this subject especially, you need creativity and imagination and picturization. Whatever if I tell, you should be in a position to draw the diagram, or you should be in a position to picturize it. So here, for three-dimensional coordinate system, just I have shown only 1 quadrant here. Means totally 8 quadrants are there. How to imagine that? I will tell you. Just imagine the 4 cubicle rooms, right? 4 rooms in the bottom, in the ground floor, and just 4 rooms above it. Cubicle rooms means not circular rooms, cubicle rooms, right? Cubicle shape rooms. 4 rooms are adjacent to each other in the ground floor. Totally 4 rooms are there, 4 quadrants below and 4 quadrants exactly above it. Just whatever the diagram I have drawn here is just only 1 quadrant. Means there are remaining 7 quadrants I have not shown in the diagram, right? So I hope you can imagine this. Yes, if you are sitting in a room, adjacently there are 4 rooms, you take another 4 rooms above you, right? So totally 8 rooms will be there, or 8 quadrants are there. Whatever I have drawn is just only 1 quadrant I have shown in the diagram, only 1 quadrant. I hope you have understood how many planes are there. Totally 3 planes for the first quadrant, right? 3 planes are there. xy plane, yz plane, zx plane. Also x equal to 0 plane, y equal to 0 plane, and z equal to 0 plane. Okay, we'll move to the next. Yes, location of points in rectangular coordinate system. If I give you any point, value of x, y, z, it can be anything. Here I have taken 3 points: a of 1, 2, 3, b of 2, -2, 1, c of 3, -1 and 2. Right? I have taken this. Let me try to locate this point a of 1, 2, 3 in rectangular coordinate system. And I can draw it roughly, but I don't want exact. So I will show you how to draw it. So, and I will ask you how to I will give some point for you people, and you should be in a position to draw. I will give you later after drawing this. So this is x, and this is y, and this is z, and origin is here 0, 0, 0. Fine, no need to write 0, but let it be. Yes, first I want to locate the point A, which is having coordinates 1, 2, 3, right? So x is 1, y is 2 here, and z is 3. So along x axis I will move 1 unit, along y axis I will move 2 units, and along z axis 3 units. But finally I want to locate point A. So along x axis I will start and I will move here. This is 1 unit. Then along y axis I will move 2 units, 1 unit, 2 units. First I will mark this, observe here, draw the line parallel to y axis, then draw the line from point 2 parallel to x axis. So this will give me point 1 comma 2, but I want 1 comma 2 comma 3. I have to move upward by a 1 unit in z direction. So I will look at z equal to 1 here, sorry 3, 1 unit, z equal to 3, so 2 unit, z is 3 here. Yes, in order to draw the exact point, since 1 comma 2 is located, take the help of diagonal. This I will draw the diagonal line and I will move upward. You can observe here, I will not move upward till it is 3. So I will stop here because I have taken the diagonal. It should be parallel here like this. It is parallel. This whatever the line I have drawn, it is parallel to this. Both should be parallel. So the point I have located is A of 1 comma 2 comma 3. I hope you got how to locate points. Next I will show you how to locate point B of 2 comma minus 2 comma 1. This is x, this is y, and this is z. So I will show you this. X, y, z. If I ask any point, you should be in a position to locate. So x is 2, so mark 2 units. X is 2, 1, 2, yes, and y is minus 2, so this is positive y axis. Draw the negative y axis also here. This is negative y axis, and move 2 units towards left, minus 2, minus 1, minus 2 here. So first locate point 2 comma minus 2 first. So I will draw parallel line with respect to this y axis. Next I will draw parallel line with respect to x axis. Yes, the point here what I located is 2 comma minus 2, but I want to look at 2 comma minus 2 and 1. Along z axis you should move 1 unit up. So z I will take, this is 1 unit. So draw the diagonal for reference. This is the diagonal I am drawing for reference. So just move 1 unit up so that this diagonal and this line whatever I draw, it should be parallel. Somewhere it will come here. So I will move up and I will draw here. Is it fine? So this is the point B of 2 comma minus 2 comma 1. Yes. Then next, you people try to locate the point 3 comma. I am leaving this to you. Do it. I will come back to you and I will ask anybody to show. Locate the point C of 3 comma minus 1 comma 2. Locate it, and I will give one more point. Minus 3, x is minus 3, y is plus 2, and z is minus 5. Locate both these points. Locate both these points. I will give some time.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, madam. Tell me. 1 minute. I will come back. I want to see you. Just I will exit the
Yes.
slideshow. 1 minute. I will exit the slideshow.
Yes.
1 minute. My PC is very slow. I will purchase new one for the online classes. Oh, okay. I will keep. Okay. Ink notations. I don't want. I want this. I will save it. Please bear with me. I am very slow. Please, can you unmute your video and speak to me, madam?
Yes, sir.
Spurti, tell me, madam.
Sir, please can you explain first one again? That first point, sir.
This one, 1 comma 2 comma 3 point. How to locate?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I will explain. Once again, I will explain. All of you listen. Then
Yes.
once I explain, you should be in a position to locate the point C and D. I have given C and D now. Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will tell once again. Okay, if any doubts are there, you can interrupt me in the middle like this. You can mute your mic, madam. You can mute yourself. So that I will continue. Yes, I will continue. Okay, one of your friend is asking how to locate the point A of 1 comma 2 comma 3. Once again I will tell. Please listen carefully. Okay, I will draw it here. Sorry, okay. 1 minute. Yes, I have to take the pen here. Yes, I am taking the pen, felt tip pen. Yes, I have taken A of 1 comma 2 comma 3. How to locate? Once again I am telling, all of you listen carefully. Yes, this is value of x is 1, value of y is 2, value of z is 3. Is it fine? So draw the coordinates axis, x, y, z axis. You take x-axis here and y-axis here and z-axis here. And next I want to look at the point A of first here. I want to look at 1 comma 2 because you are familiar with 2D. So 1 comma 2, then I will take care of the third coordinate. First 1 comma 2, how to draw it I will tell you. Move along x-axis 1 unit. Yes, this is x is 1 here. Then along y-axis I want to move 2 units. Yes, 1 2 units, right? So along x-axis I have moved 1 unit, along y-axis I have to move 2 units. So just observe here 1 unit, and now I am moving towards y. I am using a dotted line, and this whatever the shape that forms here, this line should be parallel to y-axis, and this line here, what I am observe the pointer, what I am doing, this line should be parallel. So I will not move this line till here, I will stop here only, then I will draw here, because it should here, this should be a plane. So this point is 1 comma 2. I hope you got this. X is 2 units, 1 unit, sorry, x is 1 unit here and y is 2 units, right? Then next, how to locate? So z is should be 3 units, right? So 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit. I am moving along z axis. So for reference I am taking this diagonal is not required, but for my reference I require. So I will draw this diagonal which is joining 1 comma 2, because parallel to this line here from z equal to 3 I should draw here. So I will move 3 units up. I am moving 3 units up and I am drawing this line below. I am not taking the extending this line above z axis, because this diagonal and the both should be parallel. This line and this line both should be parallel. This and this should be parallel. So now I am located A of 1 comma 2 comma 3. Madam Spurti, now you can speak. I have understood this. You can unmute your.
Yes, sir, understood.
Now you
Yes,
try,
sir.
now you try to locate a point C and D. All of you try to locate
Yes.
point C and D, so that I will randomly call any one of you and I will ask you to show. Yes, any one of you I will ask randomly. And show. I will want to keep this scribbled once. Let it be. And I want to see you people. Please unmute yourself so that I can see you are doing or not. I want to see whether you are having pen and paper or not, or notebook or something like that. I told you people to locate point C and D. C is 3 minus 1 2. D is minus 3 2 minus 5. Once you withdraw, I will draw it later and show. First you draw it. I will ask any one of you randomly. Please unmute your video so that I can see whether you are doing or not. I should feel it, no? I should feel it, whether you are doing it or not. Please do it at the earliest. Meanwhile, I will write today's class attendance 56 members. 56 means 55. Minus 1 myself. 55. B division. Third class. Today is class number 3 and date is 3/9/2020. I am doing my job, you do your job. Today is Thursday. Class timing 2:30 p.m. Number of participants 55. Okay, fine, good strength. Any doubts, you can unmute yourself and speak so that I will tell once again. Lecture 1, 2, lecture 2, this one. Can anyone show? If anybody is over, you can show it. You can speak and you can show it to me, or else I will call randomly. Anybody wants to show? Still doing it. Chetan is showing something, but it's not visible for me, Chetan. It should be near to camera so that I can see. Okay. I hope anybody is not in a position to draw it. Let me know.
Please verify my answer.
No, I will draw it so that everyone can verify. I will draw those 2 points. Then after this location of points, I will go to location of planes and I will wind up this session. Location of points and location of planes. Next is location of planes. See, Mallikarjun Chabbi has left the meeting without intimation. Due to technical issue, if it has happened, no problem. But intentionally, please don't leave the class in between without permission. Please put some message in the chat box because so urgency is there. I am leaving. You can do that always. Okay. Now I will go and draw. Just watch and verify your answers. I hope you are interactive and you will be doing parallelly with me. Okay, fine. Now I will show you how to look at the point C of 3 comma minus 1 comma 2. Just verify your answers. Okay, I have to take 1 minute. I have to take pen once again. If I leave the meet, yes. It's not coming. Yes. Felt tip pen. Yes. Fine. It had come. Okay. Next, C of 3 comma minus 1 comma 2. The value of x is 3, the value of y is minus 1 here, not plus 1, and z is plus 2. So draw the coordinates x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. X-axis, y-axis and z-axis. S. X is 3 units. 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 units. Then y is minus 1. Minus means negative y-axis. So extend this y-axis towards negative. So y is minus 1. It will come here. I will just expand it. Okay, y is minus 1 here. Then first I will draw 3 comma minus 1. Then I will take care about z. So I will x 3 units I have moved. Then y I have to move minus 1 unit. So I am moving here. You can draw dotted line or a thick line. Yes, yes, I have drawn here. So this will represent 3 comma minus 1. It is better to draw the dotted line, but I have drawn the thick line. Then I want to shift z as 2 units. Z is 1 unit and 2 units. So draw the diagonal so that it will give me the reference. So draw the diagonal for this and move 2 units up so that this line and whatever this, they should be parallel. So I will move upward and this line should be parallel. They are parallel. This line and this line diagonal, they should be parallel. So I have located the point C of 3 comma minus 1 comma 2. And next, I hope majority of people have done correct. Then next I will take the point D of minus 3 comma 2 comma minus 5. Verify this also. Just 1 minute. Okay. Yes. Next I will take D of minus 3 comma 2 comma minus 5. Yes, I will draw here. Okay, it should be straight. It is somewhat, it had not come neat, but no problem. X, y, z. X-axis, y-axis, z-axis. I have value of x is negative here, y is positive, z is once again negative. Means I have to extend both x-axis. I will extend in the negative direction. This is minus x, and z-axis I will extend downward here. This is minus z, right? Negative z-axis. So I should move along 3 units in the negative x-axis. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 I have moved here. This is x is minus 3 here. Then y is plus 2. So 1 unit here, 2 unit here. So first I will locate minus 3 comma 2 first. Yes, I have done it. So 3 units. So just parallel to y-axis, and this is parallel to this. Means point will come here. So this has represented the point minus 3 comma 2. Next I want z minus 5 in the negative. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So I don't have a space, so I am cut shorting. Minus 5 is here. So draw the diagonal for it for the reference. So minus 5 units you have to come down. So come down, and this line should be parallel to this whatever I am joining right now. So this is D of minus 3 comma 2 comma minus 5. I hope this is clear to you people. I hope this is clear. Okay, anyhow, time is 3:16. I want to stop the class right now. Location of planes I will show you next. If any doubts are there, you can ask me now. I will end the show. I want to keep all this and I will put it in the classroom. I will stop presenting. I'll close the slide, or else let it be there. If anything is there, you can speak to me. Shall we? You can unmute yourself, all of you. Unmute your video so that we'll wind up the class. Class is over. Class is over. Unmute yourself. Please unmute your video, all of you. I am requesting. Please unmute yourself.
Hey, Rahul, आवाज कटने डा.
1 minute. I am because see, if you want to speak only one by one, please all of you mute your mic. But video should be on, please. Video should be on. If anybody wants to speak, you can speak. But only that person should unmute his mic, his or her mic, please. Anybody want to speak to me or regarding any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts? Please unmute your video. Kritika, Akash, Abdal Hussain, Mallikarjun. All of you understood? Just to make a show the thumbs up so that I will understand. If any doubts are there, you can. Yeah, some people are showing. Yes, fine. Yes, fine. Yes, fine. Yes, very good. Very good. No doubts. Shall we end the class? 1 minute. One more thing I want to tell. This video morning, it was unfortunate that I hope so this video is recorded and I will share this video with you in the I have shared one video, but it is not visible to you people. It is not visible to you people because it was shared in the private mode. By today evening I will take care and I will ask Tejas to test whether it is working or not, and if it is fine, then I will put in the group. You can watch the video, 2 lecture videos, right? Tejas, I will ask you to test in the evening. Yes, Tejas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Shall we end the class? Okay? You will not speak anything. Please speak something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shall we end the class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Josh should be there in the class. At least during the end of the class, Josh should be there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'll stop presenting. 1 minute. Okay, I'll stop presenting. Do you want to save the changes? Yes, I will. Yes, everything will be recorded. By God's grace, this video lecture is recorded. I hope so. In the morning, it has not happened due to technical issue. Okay, you can leave the meet. I am stopping the presentation. You can leave the meet. Yes.
Thank you,
Don't
sir.
wait for me.
Thank you, sir.
Don't wait for me. My PC is very slow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Fine.
sir.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay. Thank
Bye,
you.
sir. Bye.
Bye. Yes. Save attendance as CSV ಬೇಡ CSV ನ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಇದು F8